Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome to my Booktubeathon 2015 TBR. So if you are newer to Booktube and are unaware, Booktubeathon is an event that takes place every year at around this time. It was created by Ariel from Ariel Bissett and I believe Raylene from Padfoot and Prongs 07. And so what it is for 1 week you are to fulfill 7 challenges over the course of that week. And yeah, there are video challenges that go along with it as well. I believe they are integrating Instagram into it this year. Twitter's always been a factor too. I'm not sure about those two things yet, but I did it last year, and it's what really first propelled me into starting Booktube in the first place. So it was a really fun event. I had a blast last year, and I'm looking forward to this year's. I will insert the link to the Booktubeathon YouTube channel down below for your enjoyment. So I suggest you go check it out and be a part of the fun. But let's go on to the challenges. The first of which is to read a book with a blue cover, or blue on the cover, and for this one I decided to go with Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. I haven't hauled this book yet, but yeah, it's a book that I recently picked up when it came out, and I'm excited to read it. You probably know what it's about. It is the prequel to the infamous To Kill a Mockingbird, and it takes place around 20 years after the events of To Kill a Mockingbird, when Scout is an adult, and she goes back to Macomb County to visit her ailing father. And challenge number 2 is to read an author whose the first letter of their last name is the same letter of first letter of your last name. And for this one, I decided to go with Bambi's Children by Felix Sultan. I picked this up quite a while ago, and this will be perfect because I actually read Bambi for the first time last year during the first Booktubeathon that I did. And so, yeah, this I have never read. I didn't even know until I think I saw this on Book Outlet one day that there even was a sequel to Bambi that I didn't know about. So obviously it's going to be about his children, and it'll probably possess some more, you know, life, death, and renewal elements as it did in the first book, but I'm excited to read it. Challenge number 3 is to read the favorite book of another person, and this was difficult for Matt and I to figure out because it's like neither of us can really pick an absolute favorite of all time book. So we were just like, okay, we'll just read one of each other's favorites. And so for his, I am going to finally be reading Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This I am excited for because everybody that I have seen on Booktube that has read this has absolutely loved it, and it's gone like straight to the top of their favorites. So yeah, it takes place in the year 2044, and so I believe there's this video game that everybody partakes in, and this guy was obsessed with 80s pop culture, so there's a lot of video game references and just tons of 80s references, and I like the 80s, so yeah, it just sounds really intriguing, and I'm excited to finally be reading this. Challenge number 4 is to read a book that you most recently acquired, and for that, again, it is going to be Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. Challenge number 5, probably the most interesting challenge that they've laid for us this year, is to read a book without letting go of it. And so for this one, I decided the best course of action would be to read a short one, and so I've decided to pick The Wicked and the Divine by Gillian McKelvey and Wilson Cowles. So this is volume 1 of a series, I believe, and I actually don't remember what this is about. I've seen it on Booktube a few times. Most people picked it up for the cover, which is lovely, but I guess there are mixed reviews on this. So yeah, I kind of like mixed reviews because I like you know, knowing which end of the spectrum I fall on. But yeah, don't know too much about it, but that's okay. It's relatively short, and I do think that I will be able to read this without letting go. I'll just find a couple-hour period where I don't have to do anything, and if I have to go anywhere, put this down, I'll tuck it into my shirt. Challenge number 6 is to read a book that you really want to read, and for this I've decided to go with The Invasion of the Tierling by Erica Johansson. This is the second book in the Queen of the Tierling trilogy, and is following Kelsey, a girl who has just recently become queen, as of the first book. And in the second book, well, obviously, as the title says, there is an invasion approaching from the Red Queen of Mortmain, and so I predict there will be a lot of battles in this, but, you know, I hope other things happen too besides just battle, but I just love the first book so much that I can't wait to read the second one. And challenge number 7 is to read 7 books in total, which is not that difficult, I suppose, depending on what you're reading, but given that, you know, I'm using Go Set a Watchman to cover 2 of the challenges, that means I have to sort of overcompensate by reading 2 more books. And so the first one I'm going to read is This One Summer by Mariko and Jillian Tamaki. They are 2 cousins, and I read this last summer and loved it. It is one of my favorite books, and I recently hauled it because Matt was kind enough to get it for me because it's so beautiful, and I'm rereading it. I'm going to reread it every summer. But yeah, so it should be a fairly quick read, and I think I'll be able to get through this. And the other one I'm planning to read is Breakfast at Tiffanys by Truman Capote. This is a part of a bunch of his short story collection, but the primary one is Breakfast at Tiffanys. It's around 89 pages, so I think that I'll be able to do it. I read it a few years ago, and I don't think I quite appreciated it back then, and maybe I'll appreciate it more now that I'm older. But yeah, I'm excited to reread it. There you have it. That is my very exciting Booktubeathon TBR. Please comment down below and let me know if you are participating and what books you are planning on reading for which challenges. I don't know that I'll be doing daily updates. I might do like a middle of the week kind of update just to show where I'm at, but other than that, I'm excited to see what happens, like what everybody else is going to read. I'm excited for everybody else's TBR challenges too. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I shall see you soon with another video. Bye everyone!